Hey everybody, it's your boy Joe Pro, back from the dead, here to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. Today, of course, was the big Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and I'm going to give my overall thoughts on it super briefly, and then I'm going to rank every single Switch 2 exclusive game from the least hype to the most hype. My opinions will probably be very, very unliked. They will be very niche and resented, and I might get death threats from certain fan bases, but we'll see. So overall, what did I think of the Direct? Pretty good. Definitely a lot of third-party focus, not as much first-party announcements as I would like. In fact, there were very, very few announcements. One thing that stands out, of course, no 3D Mario game. Big bummer. That is basically my favorite game series, since Paper Mario is like 50% terrible. 3D Mario is what I love, and it's been, what, like 8 years almost since Mario Odyssey, so pretty disappointed about that. Also, turns out the games are retailing for $80, like at least Mario Kart World is, and that is insane. $80 for a game is too much. The console, apparently it's been announced since the Direct, is going to be $450 just for the console with no games, which again, pretty high. I was expecting more, about $400. The home screen UI also has been shown off outside of the Direct, and it's still just the basic home screen, so it doesn't look like there's going to be any themes. Of course, that could be added later on. However, there's lots of good news. The performance is honestly better than I expected. 4K 60 FPS is insane. And then you have the option on some games like Metroid Prime 4 to do 1080p at 120 frames per second, which is incredible, and I'm very excited for that. Very excited for the GameCube Online, excited for the enhanced Switch 2 versions, editions. So overall, very excited for the console, but also a little bit nervous because of the first-party lineup. But let's take a look at the lineup. Okay, so in today's ranking, we're going to be talking about every first-party game exclusive to the Switch 2, so we're not going to talk about the Switch 2 editions unless those are Switch 2 games, Switch 2, Switch 1 edition games that have not released yet. So Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA will both be included, because I imagine they'll be launching on both consoles at the same time. So basically any games that have not come out that are first-party. And yeah, so I think I have 8 games here on the list, and let's get started with number 8. Yeah, so this game is like, I don't even know what this is. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I was watching it and I was like, okay, it's probably gonna have some fun mini games. But then it was like, no, you just go up to people and they tell you how to use the Switch 2. It's like an instruction manual that's interactive and has maybe a few kind of games in it. And I was like, all right, I guess that's fine for a pack-in title, you know, kind of nice to have that when you turn the game on for the first time. But no, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. You have to pay to get welcomed to the Switch 2 by Nintendo, and I won't be doing that. And I imagine most of you won't be doing that, so it's gonna get 8th place. It's the least hype, and let's move on. Next up is, it's actually, it was gonna be Pokemon, but no, because it's Drag and Drive, Drag Cross Drive, Drag X Drive, whatever it is. The game, I don't really know what it is. Like it kind of looks cool. It's kind of like ARMS mixed with Rocket League. You know, it has like the weird control scheme of ARMS, but it looks like the controls would get annoying. You're gonna have to play with like a table in front of you, and you're constantly moving your arms around like a crazy person, and it's weird. And the graphics are weird. Like the backgrounds are just gray and black. Like there's no, like where are the cool stages? Why can't I play in like a forest or in a volcano or in space? You know, like I don't understand what's going on. And then like I like the inclusivity aspect of the wheelchairs. But like I think for the gameplay, like it just doesn't, like, I don't know, it's just not like up against Rocket League, like you're in these really fast cars like zooming around, and then here you're just playing basketball, you know? Like it's just not, it doesn't look good. I'm not hyped, okay? It is my 7th most hyped game of the 8. Alright, and that brings us to number 6, which is gonna be, don't kill me here, fellas, but it's gonna be Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. So, if you saw the reaction, I was not very pleased. This game has a lot of problems for me. For one, I don't really like the Hyrule Warriors games. I played the first one a lot, and I just never could really get into it. It just seemed so superficial, and you're just fighting all the time, you know? It just wasn't my thing. It's great if it is your thing, but there's been quite a few Hyrule Warriors games now, I think this is like the third one, and I'm kind of over it. But to make it even worse, it's also kind of like, I mean, it's clearly in the style of the Breath of the Wild series and fits in with that storyline, which I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick with the storyline of the new Zelda games. I want to get out of this Age of Calamity era and Age of Imprisonment era, whatever, and I want to get some new Zelda games. You know, like we had Breath of the Wild, we had Tears of the Kingdom. I think there's a Hyrule Warriors expansion or something that's like this, and then now there's this one, and then also Echoes of Wisdom is different, at least, but it's still kind of in that same vein and that same feeling of Breath of the Wild. So I'm ready to move on, but I'm sure it's still a good game, so it's above these other two, but it's gonna come in at 6th place most hyped. In 5th place, I am freaking out. It is Pokemon Legends ZA. I love it. I love Pokemon so much. I'm just kidding. I don't like Pokemon, but before you kill me with all of your pitchforks that you've been saving for me these last few months, I gotta say one thing. The Switch 2 version looks pretty good. The resolution looks nice. The cartoony art style is pretty. Still wish it was more detailed, more textured, but can't complain too much. It looks like it's gonna run a lot better than some other recent Pokemon games, and the city vibes are cool, so I'm excited for those that are excited, and it kind of comes in the middle of my list here. Maybe I'll give it a try someday, you never know. In 4th place is a game we did not see any gameplay of. I think the only game on this list without gameplay, which means it might be a ways out, but it is from Masahiro Sakurai, Kirby Air Riders, and that is very exciting. I've never really played Kirby Air Ride, maybe once or twice in my life, but I know that it's very good and a lot of people love it so much, so to finally get a sequel is massive. I do wish we had received some gameplay. Did we receive gameplay? Was there gameplay? I don't think so. I think it was all cinematic, but in Sakurai we trust, and so I think this will be great. A game that I'll probably definitely want to get and battle in some races with my friends. Actually, we did receive gameplay, didn't we? It was kind of like, it was like Diddy Kong. It was like Diddy Kong Racing, and there was like all these different vehicle types and stuff. I'm pretty sure we got gameplay. I don't know. I'm kind of losing my mind here, guys, because I'm so excited to talk about the top 3. But still, Kirby Air Riders looks amazing, and it is my 4th most hyped game. Donkey Kong Bonanza coming in at number 3. So this one I'm pretty mixed on. I don't really know what to think, to be honest. I really wanted a 3D Mario game. I kind of expected that a 3D Donkey Kong game was coming. It's been discussed for a while and leaked, and I was starting to think like it would be a Donkey Kong and Mario game where you could play as both, but no, it's just Donkey Kong. I think I would be okay with that. I think I would be happy to have a Donkey Kong 3D game taking the 3D Mario slot if it was like a platformer collectathon. If it was like DK64, Banjo-Kazooie, that type of thing, then great. But as it stands, it seems to be a lot more of kind of beating things up and breaking rocks and stuff, and so it doesn't really feel, I mean, I guess it's a 3D platformer, but it's kind of like, it's different. It's more of like a 3D adventure game maybe, and that's just not really what I was hoping for. It looks great, the worlds look great and visually and everything, and hopefully they get some good music. It'd be great to get David Wise involved again. I don't know. I hope it doesn't mean that the next 3D Mario is too far away, because it's already been almost 8 years since Odyssey. So if we don't get the 3D Mario game at least by 2026, that would be very unfortunate, and this might delay that if it's by the same team. So I'm a little bit mixed on that. Hopefully they are working on 3D Mario and we won't have to wait much longer. But if this is basically the 3D Mario and we live in a world where we don't get a 3D Mario on Switch 2 because we have this, or at least it's 4 years away, that's not good. No, I don't want that. This looks good, but I don't know. It didn't blow me away. I got to see more. It's interesting. It's not a launch title. It's coming out in July, so I guess they want to give Mario Kart some room to breathe, but would definitely like to see more of Donkey Kong Bonanza. It could be really good and one of my favorite games, or it could end up being a complete miss, but we will see. In second place is the Switch 2 edition of Metroid Prime 4. Again, this game has not released yet, so I'm going to include it in this video because I am hyped. We still don't have a release date, so I assume it's coming later in the year, maybe around Halloween or something, or holiday title. But yeah, I mean, it looks so good. The visuals on Switch 2 are even better. How I can run at 120 frames per second HD or 60 FPS at 4K resolution is crazy. The mouse controls are going to be huge for Metroid and for any other FPSs, so very, very pumped up for Metroid Prime 4. I don't have much else to say about it. I do love the series. We've been waiting a long time, so I'm excited to see what happens. And that brings us to, of course, number one. Who would have ever doubted it, and who could have a different number one than I? It is, of course, Mario Kart World releasing with the Switch, which is actually insane. Like, to have a Mario Kart on launch, Mario Kart is Nintendo's best selling franchise. Like, it is their biggest of all of their game series, and there has never been one on release day. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. Unless it was on like the GBA or something, I don't know. But this is the first time to have it on release and to incorporate like the world setting and all of the voice chat and the video chat and everything into this is going to be huge. It has like a battle royale mode where you get eliminated on each lap. Like, that's crazy. This game is going to be huge. It is going to be so huge for Nintendo and for the Switch 2, and I'm very excited to see it on launch day. One thing that's interesting to me is, like with a lot of these games, is there's no evident holiday title, you know? Like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong are out this summer. Kirby's not big enough, well, maybe it could be big enough for a holiday title, but also it seems like it's probably not until next year. Pokemon Legends, I guess, yeah, could be out later in the year. Metroid could be out later in the year, but none of those are like typical holiday titles. So maybe we'll still get more information about like an Animal Crossing or a 3D Mario, but we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. So with Mario Kart World, again, the costumes are great. The new characters are so good. You can play as a dolphin. I don't know the Mario name of the dolphin, but there's a dolphin you can play as. And of course you can play as the Moo Moo. And I love the Moo Moo. I want to play as a Moo Moo, and I hope they include some retro tracks someday so I can drive around in Moo Moo Meadows with the Moo Moo, because that looks so cool. And actually, I'm only ever going to play as the Moo Moo. I'm never going to play as anybody else, only the Moo Moo, because who wouldn't want to play as a beautiful cow creature on a motorcycle and a dirt bike. It's great. The open world environments look great. Visually, it's impressive, and being able to drive all around open, and it looks like each race, it just kind of is a segmented part of the entire open world, which is so cool. Like, this is going to be a Mario Kart game where you can just spend, dozens of hours just in the world, enjoying it, doing challenges and screwing around with your friends, and I, for one, am so excited for it. So yeah, Mario Kart World, my number one most hyped Switch 2 game, and I guess that would make it my most hyped video game right now that I'm waiting for in general until more stuff is announced. So that is very, very, very exciting. Now I just gotta wait for Nintendo to release or announce that 3D Mario rather, and to announce a Switch 2 enhanced version of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. That would be great as well. But in the meantime, subscribe to Joe Pro, check out my channel. I do have the reaction videos up on the channel for all of these wonderful games. And let me know, what did you think about the Switch 2 announcement? Are you frustrated that it's going to be $450? Kind of ridiculous, but I think the game's being $80 is even more ridiculous. So what do you think about all that? Are you excited? Are you going to buy it on launch? Are you going to wait? And make sure you have a great day. See you later.